Afternoon again, folks. This is the radio control Meccano Maker System Lamborghini Huracan car, as you can see. Not too much in the way of bodywork, but a reasonable representation, I suppose, but I'm no expert on these cars. Beauty of this set, apart from a downside, is it's quite expensive, or was. It is 2.4 gigahertz instead of the more common 27 megahertz of all the previous incarnations of radio-controlled Meccano sets, from the small cars such as the Autocross buggy, about a year ago, Rabbids police car, up to the larger rally car and the larger turbo sports car. They're all 27 meg, so you can't race them against each other except against the clock. But with this now, we can. At least this one and one of the other ones on 27 megs. So we're getting there. I don't know if this has got being digital, I suppose. It may sync with the unit and will only operate with the receiver on the car of this one. So if that is the case, I haven't done radio control for years. If that is the case, you can make loads of these, change the colour of the bodywork by using your own parts and adding your own bits or taking bits away, and race them all, hopefully. It is quite expensive. This was bought about 6 weeks ago, and I think it was £80 if I remember right. Quite a bit for just 297 parts, but we have got this specialised chassis and the remote control to go with it. 10 plus years. It is available, last time I looked, at Smith's Toy Shops in the UK for £60. Much better. Doesn't come with the batteries though. Digital proportional steering and apparently authentic styling as well. We'll need 4 AA batteries and 3 AAA batteries to complete. Let's have a look on the back then. It's a fairly weighty set, but I suppose most of that is the chassis. That's quite a nice image there, isn't it? Quite boom in your face. There you are. Remote control, of course, with the trigger type controller. I don't like them actually. I'm not too keen on them. Digital proportional steering, and that looks to be about it. Made in China, this one. Plenty of sellotape. Let's have a look in the box. Quite a robust box. Didn't really need all the sellotape it had round it, but we've got some tabs as well at the top. Let's have a look. Very nicely packaged. Doesn't look a great deal though, does it, in Meccano terms, but it is really nicely packaged. All solid. That's why the box is so robust. Plenty of protection for the parts. Not much in the way of Meccano, of course, itself, and we're going to have a lot of plastic stuff with it, which, from a performance point of view, being light, I suppose that's a bonus. So then, let's have a look. We'll go about now. We'll have a little closer look in a bit, and nearly everything all in the same bag there, and plenty of some metal there. It's quite a weighty bag, so yeah, it looks like we've got quite a lot of nuts and bolts. I don't like them putting the windscreens in with the other parts, but this is like, I don't know, it's more than triple bagged, it's multiple bagged, isn't it? I mean, at least that's good. I do like the multiple bagging. Looks like, I don't know whether these are I think these are side pieces. Obviously totally new, those. Then we've got tools. Now, did you spot the mistake there? Not my mistake though, although it normally is. We've got the screwdriver type Allen driver, but if you look on the box, there we've got the more usual standard Allen key type, which to be honest I do prefer really most of the time. Then what have we got in here? This is going to drop down now. I'm looking at it a bit blind. It looks like we've got, in a fashion, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's progress. Meccano wheels. I suppose I should have noticed that by looking at the chassis, but we've got Meccano wheels to put on, and the fittings look a little bit different to normal, so that may preclude us putting other Meccano wheels on this chassis and doing other things with it. If we can do that, put older Meccano wheels on the chassis, fantastic, and do more of our own thing. And that's the point. If a Mechanoset comes out and it's different, that's all right. It may be totally different, you don't like it, or you're prepared to give it a go, or you're not keen on all the plastic, all the quick snap pins, whatever. But it may have things there, new parts that you can use. And it's all still compatible, of course. So the more we can do our own as well, the better. It has another line to it, so it's not just the set model. We can do more of it with our own things, if you like. All previous radio control sets have had the wheels fixed, and I've tried to get the wheels off to change a motor on one, and I was hitting it so hard with the hammer, the actual motor housing broke. I could not shift the wheels. I don't think we're looking at these. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out, I suppose. Maybe we won't be able to fit any wheels we like, but they're definitely, at least we've got to fit these, which is we're getting there. Got some stickers in there as well, and some fancy hubcaps. We'll have a look at that in a bit. What have we got here? Tyres, which look the same as in the Ferrari and other sets. Now this might be a bit awkward to get out, so we'll see how far we get. Ah, not too... You beauty. Absolute beauty. Somebody has either listened or has been thinking of the same lines as what I have, and maybe others, because... Okay, we won't probably know exactly till we build it, but I'll just lean it back a second. Let's have a look at this chassis. There's the chassis. We have suspension by the looks of it on the steering as well. Just a fraction, but that's something. But look folks, Meccano bolts already fitted in. I don't know how we're going to hold the bolt to tighten it up onto the wheel, and then you've got these special moulded shapes that will engage with the wheel itself. Now that doesn't have to be driven, of course, although it's a Lamborghini, so the real thing's probably four-wheel drive, but I'm no expert on this model. These are fixed for the drive, so it may be a struggle to do something with different wheels, because these are specially shaped hexagonal to fit into the wheels. But it's something, you know. It's an halfway house, if you like. We've got the Meccano bolt, or rather the threads really, to do something. The actual chassis is not that heavy. There's no batteries in, of course. On-off switch, of course. There's no switch on here to change the frequency should it clash with something else, and I don't know. I'll have to look into that when we get to build it. I don't like that. We've been spoilt, I suppose. All the mechanoids, the Mechasaw, the Micronioids have all got a Meccano bolt in there to fix it shut, so you don't need a separate tool to get it open. Of course you do on this one. So okay, we've gained a little and we've gone back just a little bit. I'll try and get this controller out, which is fixed in anyway. So it's a pretty good box. I mean, it's ain't gonna last forever, like. So I suppose this is pretty much the norm these days, the trigger types. Of course, Meccano styling. They've gone to the trouble of making it Meccano-esque, you know, moulded sort of bolt holes, if you like. Not really holes, of course, just moulding. So, yeah, you know, some ways I think they go too far away from the Meccano ethos, and then they do things that bring it back slightly, in a different way, perhaps. Forward and back there, controls, and left and right steering. On-off switch on the back, and that will be there at a guess, that knob, to true up and centre the steering. I was expecting a larger instruction book, but now there we are. This is, as I said, a Chinese made set, probably Hong Kong, I think. I read somewhere it's Hong Kong, which of course has been owned, if that's the right word, by China since 1997 now, of course, so it is China, I suppose. Anyway, not made in France. And straight away you can see the book's better cut, better folded. The stitching goes all the way along the spine. As I said before, you don't need it on a book this light, but it is a good thing. I ain't going to knock that at all. What is common now, our tips, won't harp on that too much, that's the same for everything really now, more or less. User guide to the remote control side of things, several languages of course, and how to put the batteries in, both the car and the transmitter. Yes, it says when pairing the controller and car, LED will flash. Once pairing is complete, LED will glow solid. When LED flashes slowly, battery is low. To reset, turn off the controller and the car. So every time you switch on, you pair it. So I have seen bits on like YouTube about this, but I've never really that much into radio control, and it's a long time ago, and of course it was none of this stuff. So yeah, so it's paired, so you can get another one and race it together and not worry about the frequency. I should think anyway. Otherwise there's no real need to pair it. So anybody who's more of an expert on that sort of thing, let us know. So yeah, we've got plenty more of the instructions, and I've got a funny feeling there's going to be, oh, I don't know, I thought there was going to be a lot more from that point of view. So just the one model, of course. Let's have a look at the design layout. Well, pretty well spaced out. Looks clear enough here so far. On that small spacer there, we've got the white outlining, very good. And it looks that more or less, not quite, but the parts list colours transfer fairly well to the parts on the actual bit you're doing, because some of the sets of late are, there's one particularly, it's awful. The colours are very black or very grey and very similar. Now, talking of grey, of course the chassis is sort of, well, it's black, isn't it really, or very dark grey in reality, and it's more or less transmitted here, but it isn't so dark that you can't see the detail in the images, such as holes and even the moulding on the chassis itself. So detailed images, clear enough it seems. Nice little bit here. Normally you get a little symbol to tell you what sort of strip is what. So a flexible strip will have a little bendy symbol. Well, here, look, they've gone into detail more. We need a metal one here by the looks of it. Look, not the sort of squared off flip-flop ones, we need the proper one. There, the proper one. So, nice additions. Everything looks clear enough, and as usual folks, we won't know, will we, till we build to see if there's any mistakes. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of need for white outlining, but we've still got it. Take for example here, the black larger the spacer, same size as the collar of course. Outlining on that, so it's not just a blob. Same on the instruction there, not just a blob. It all aids to see what you're doing. Yeah, it's a bit odd here, they've done both here. Look, we've got required this strip here. Now, because it's got the white outline, and I can tell which type it is, it's a flip-flop one. You can see the raised round bits, if you like, and it's squared off on the corners. It's also got a flexible symbol there. But of course you can get flexible metal strips as well, but they generally tend to be, as far as I can remember, the standard size. But here, again, telling us, look, it's, you want the plastic flip-flop one, not that one. Attention to detail. Whoever's doing these in China, it's doing them very well. So yeah, we'll skim through it all. There's a few bendy shapes to do, which I suppose is where the flip-flop parts come into their own, of the wheel arches and things, and showing us how to put the wheels on the chassis there. So I just suppose we will be able to put our own bespoke Meccano wheels on, but it's you know, it's halfway there. We're getting there. And again, I had to update this in another video, but the LaFerrari instructions do not show that there is a plastic sleeve on both sides of the windscreen to help protect it. It doesn't tell you that. So mine's still got the plastic coating on the sleeve on the LaFerrari. It's a bit skeletal, the bodywork on this thing, which is, well, that's about as traditional as it comes, actually going back to the early days of Meccano. And, you know, a look through that, and all seems pretty good. You know, you might say some of the images could be a little bit bigger, but it doesn't look that involved, so perhaps you don't need it. Parts wise then, let's have a look through. 32 washers, that's pretty good. 42 standard bolts, not bad. Nuts, where are you? Can't find the nuts. Oh, there we are. 72. So we've got a fair amount of standard fixings in the set. What we've got, 42 bolts, standard bolts, that's what, about £2. 72 nuts, that would be what? About another £2 to get the washers. You've probably got about £6 worth of standard fixings. Then there's all the other bolts, of course. Not a massive amount of longer ones. Some new parts, and I'm not sure what that is there. That little square thing. So let's have a look through for a few of these new parts and give them a bit of a closer look. Right then, folks, these are the wheels. Again, another new style, which is appreciated. We like a bit of variety. And these push-in hubcaps, they're quite large compared to the LaFerrari. And they clip in, see the hole there, one the other side. With these tongues, they go in there, so they locate there. The rest look pretty much the same, although the outer rim is lower, not so large if you like, not so large a diameter. So that's those. We've got the squared off section at the back to engage with the part on the chassis. So that'll be the difference between putting other wheels on, other Meccano wheels on, I suppose. Well, the front really doesn't matter, does it? Because we could always use nylock nuts or lock nuts, I suppose. Well, we'll see. Well, there's this square bit here. Can you see that there? Yeah. It's smaller than the hexagonal shape in the wheels. It's got a square section there. I have no idea what that is for. So bear with me, I'm going to have a look through the instructions. Well, folks, you do not want to lose that little plastic square thing, because that little plastic square thing is a box spanner or socket, really. Now, it's only plastic, so don't be too heavy with it, but essentially you use it end on the Allen driver to tighten up the nylock nuts onto the stub axles that hold the wheels on. So, to show you, I'll just have to get it out of the packet a little bit. There we are. Here's our, well, very common driver now. Here's our square socket, and you push it in there like that. Now that is handy. I do like that. The trouble is you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get us a lot of these, because these are going to be going between anywhere in £60 and £80 these sets. Then it's going to cost a bit. So that is extremely handy. Whether that's going to come in other sets, I don't know. So you know, change ain't always bad. Now we've got hexagonal shape on it that looks a bit small where it goes into for Meccano, but I do have a spanner here. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It's as you can see there, it's too big for the spanner. Now that might have been something worth looking into, perhaps, having that idea. So what can you say? It's that's brilliant. I like that. I've got a little gripe. The spanner's already out of shape. Look, you see that there? Try and get it to focus. There we are. You see there, it's a bit, I think the shine's pulling the camera off. There, this side is a bit bent. Not that I ain't got loads of them, of course, but you don't want that. So here are some of the other parts, folks. We've got these new roof parts. I don't know what you call them, but like a section of the roof lining anyway. The cage, if you like, not exactly the safety cage, roll cage wise, but roof section. It's a bit, I think it's a bit of overkill, really. You know, I'm sure we could have come up with something like that with standard parts, but this is the wrong hand if you want for the picture of the box. There you are. Goes there like that. And obviously handed, so they'll go sort of like that, forming the roof. So we've got those anew. Again, sort of Meccanoid-ish. Not a lot too different, really. We've got the now common, really. Plastic parts, some flip-flop, some not. Nothing too strange there. Slightly different, plastic triangular part there with this side cut off. Main difference is the colours. We've got this lime green, which is a sort of traditional sort of Lamborghini colour, I suppose. And metal parts in zinc here. From looking through the bag, the zinc is very good indeed, and there's plenty of stamps on majority of parts, it seems. Other metal parts, we've got non-flexible narrow parts, some 1/4 inch space, some not, again in the lime green. And that's it. Not a vast amount of parts, certainly promising, with a few differences regarding the wheels, which I like. Not as good as I would really like, you know, being able to swap wheels with other Meccano wheels, but certainly a good improvement. Now, I know folks probably think I'll just look for the bad things, but on some sets the bad things just stand out at you, and I've done a review, I haven't posted it yet, of one set, and it's poor is not the right word. Perhaps it's a polite word. Even though it is a 4-letter word, of course. Anyway, that will be for the future. This one, on the face of everything, looks pretty good. Doesn't look a lot to it. I've got to go get some batteries though. I suppose that is a downside. I'm getting through a lot of batteries. So, there you are, the Meccano Maker System Lamborghini Huracan radio control set. Yours for anywhere between, at the moment it seems, £60 to £80.